Friends, welcome back. I am Jason, and what I figured we'd do today is just have a creekside chat. I figured I'd fill you in on some of the things that I'm into, some of the things that I've been doing lately, and maybe some things that are coming up in the near future. I just returned from North Carolina from a tactical class. It was basically a week-long class, 6 days. Friends, do me a big favor, smash the like button. Share the video with somebody, anybody, doesn't matter, your sister, your brother, who you share it with, as long as you share it, because it helps out a lot. And in the comments section, let me know what that is. Tell me what that is. Where I engaged in small unit tactics. And I've done some small unit tactics before with, you know, buddy teams and fire teams like 2s and 4s, and then slightly bigger than that. But I've never done it with 20, 30 plus people. And that was really interesting, and I enjoyed that a lot. It became quite complex and frustrating and confusing quite a bit, especially when dealing with an opposing force. But I really enjoyed it a lot. I learned a lot of valuable lessons. I learned how to become a better speaker, a better leader, to deliver messages, to deliver important information concisely and more clearly, because under duress, under confusing, crazy, perhaps tactical situations, being able to present information really, really clearly and in the shortest amount of words, fewest amount of words possible is important. Something I call artificial hardship, like the tactical class, or like my suffering with salary events that we do, where we go purposely out and put ourselves into uncomfortable, miserable situations and have to make do with limited supplies and equipment and solve the problems that are either just naturally presented to us by the weather or fabricated, you know, artificial hardship. This stuff is really important because I think that our training should be more difficult than the real life emergencies. So like, for example, the Hurricane Helene that came through and flash floods came through and washed people's lives away. There's quite a few people potentially that could have been saved if they had been more capable of responding to that emergency and didn't freak out. Maybe they weren't physically fit enough to respond to that emergency. Maybe they just weren't mentally prepared for the chaos. I don't know. But I'd like to think, and I really truly believe that the more we test ourselves, the more we push ourselves in difficult situations and circumstances and environments and hot and cold and all of that, hunger and thirst, the more we push ourselves, the more capable, the more ready we will be to respond to those difficult situations as they come. So reacting fast, responding appropriately, making good decisions, even when you're tired, fatigued, thirsty, hungry, you haven't slept well, people are yelling at you, people are yelling at each other, fighting with one another. Being able to make good choices and decisions in that type of situation can be carried over to all sorts of areas of your life, not just tactical type situations. So for that reason, I find it very, very valuable, and that's the part that I really enjoy the most. That's the part that I need to work on the most. It's not the running and gunning and the cool guy door kicking stuff that I need to work on so much. I mean, I'm a pretty good shot. I can hit what I'm aiming at. I'm pretty decent. I'm in pretty good shape. I can run up the hills and carry the gear and do all the stuff. It's the decision making. It's the where to be, what to do when you're there, what happens if this happens, the enemy did that, now what has to happen, what's my response to all these changing different situations. We had drones up in the air, hiding from drones and stuff. It was a really enjoyable experience, and I learned a lot from it. I'm still trying to kind of digest all the things that I've gotten from it. So I would encourage you to do it, even if that's not your thing, and if you're not a tactical guy. I would encourage you to go do some of this type of training because, I mean, like I said, I think it can carry over to a lot of different aspects of your life. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Just got back last night, super late last night. And today I'm just kind of relaxing a little bit and kind of unwinding from the week of training. So I spent a big, huge portion of yesterday just like this. I'm gonna show you what I looked like for about 2.5 hours. Like this. Where's my rifle? Here's my rifle right here. This is what I looked like, kind of on a hill like this one. I looked just like this for 2.5 hours until my hands went completely numb. The enemy was 100 yards away maybe, not very far. I couldn't move. I had to stay like this for 2.5 hours. Arms went completely numb. Eventually, I slowly worked them back like this to get some blood flow to them, so I could feel them again. That was fun. But anyway, that's what I did yesterday. It was a great experience. The brush beater class in North Carolina, I highly suggest it. We were just doing a short little video on honing your knife edge on cardboard. Those of you that are not familiar with this, if you haven't seen the short little video that I did on that, cardboard is one of the hardest things on an edge. If you're cutting cardboard boxes and stuff, you're gonna dull your knife really, really fast because of the abrasiveness of the cardboard itself. But the cool thing about that is that you can bring your knife back to a really, really sharp razor's edge using the cardboard as well. You just change the angle. Instead of cutting it into, obviously, you can strop on the cardboard just like you would strop on a piece of leather, like a leather belt. The same thing. It's going to realign that edge, it's going to polish that edge, and it's going to hone the edge. It's going to sharpen your blade. Now, a lot of people, I've heard this multiple times when I discuss things like this, they're going to say, actually, you're not sharpening the blade, you're honing the blade. Listen, is the knife sharper or is it honer when you're finished with the process? That's what I'm getting at. Let's not get caught up in semantics on what we call the things. It doesn't matter, all right? It's a sharper blade because of the process that I've done here. And that brings it back really, really sharp. So now my knife here is a scalpel. It is a razor sharp edge right there. March 29th and 30th, I'm doing a course. We're doing a survival / land navigation course. It's going to be myself and Bill Stoker. He's going to be primarily teaching the land nav portions, and I'm going to be primarily teaching the survival portions of the course. And essentially what you're going to be doing is you can show up just in your clothes. That's all you need. You don't need any equipment whatsoever. We're going to supply all the equipment, and all you got to do is show up, and what we'll do is we'll learn how to navigate to our supplies. So we might navigate to our shelter components in the woods somewhere in the deep dark forest, and then we will learn how to properly build some sort of shelter. And then we will navigate to our ignition source, our fire starters, and we'll learn how to properly build a fire regardless of what the weather is doing. So these are the types of things that we're going to be doing, and it's going to be really, I think, a lot of fun. It's just going to be a 24-hour experience, and I think everyone that comes is really going to enjoy it. So I'll put a link in the description and in the comment section down below if you want to check that course out. Got bit by some chiggers and some ticks, which was nice. I found 2 ticks on me yesterday. They're already out. It was frigid cold. At the beginning of the week, the temperatures were super cold. I think it was down to 12 degrees at night, and I don't even know if it got above freezing 1 or 2 of the days. It was really, really cold. And then the temperatures soared up to like 70 on the last day. And I was laying on the hillside, and I think that's probably when I picked up a lot of those ticks and chiggers. But I had a couple attached to me, which is less than ideal. I don't want to get Lyme disease, of course, or the one, what's the one that's called, what makes you allergic to red meat? If you know what that's called, leave that in the comment section. I always forget the name of it, but it's bad. Would hate to be allergic to red meat. That would be a disaster. So we are looking for some properties to invest in the North Florida area, give or take. You know, somewhere in the North Florida area would be nice. Not super picky, but we'd like to have some acreage where we can possibly do some courses and some training, and obviously film videos and stuff like that on it. So if anybody has any leads on some good areas that we can start looking for some unrestricted properties where we can kind of do what we want on it in North Florida, let us know. Now, do I anticipate being out on patrol with me and my squadron of homies all rigged up and ready for action? I don't anticipate that being a thing in the near future. At least I really, really hope not. But I think it's good to train and to be prepared and to know how to do these types of things. I think that's important. And I also think that doing training like this is good because you can bring back lessons that you've learned and you can apply it to a really small unit. You know, these small unit tactics were not that really small. It was 30 people. You'd be really lucky to get 30 individuals around here gathered up and geared up and ready for action. That's probably not going to be the situation, but 4, 5, 8 perhaps, definitely. So you could apply those same tactics to a really, really small group. Like maybe just me and my family could use some of those same tactics to help protect ourselves if we should need it. God forbid that we ever need it. But I would like to know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about you know, tactical type training? Is it necessary at all? Should we ignore it completely, or should we just focus on individual tactics and skills? I would like to know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Friends, I do appreciate you watching very much. I'm going to end this video now and enjoy the rest of my beautiful day off. It is fantastic. Shorts and a t-shirt today. Holy cow, I was freezing my butt off last week. It was cold. I mean, it was windy and ridiculously cold. I had all the layers on and it still wasn't working. I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day off. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so. All you got to do is click that little button. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. Notifications bell if you don't want to miss out any of the content that I got coming out. But until next time, what's the worst that can happen? Let's just go.